Welcome to the Cluttered Corner. I'm Chelsea. Today is day 23 of Inktober. The word is rust, which I think is kind of a weird one. I'm not sure what that has to do with anything else that has been part of this theme. Rust. I'm gonna draw a rusty water can. See if we can actually draw rust on it. I don't know if I can draw the rust. I think I can paint the rust. Let's see. It goes like this. That got a little bit wobbly. Okay. Let me think. Yeah, I'm gonna put eyes on it. Give it a little personality. And then I'm gonna add some rust. This is gonna represent rust, and I will paint that in. What did I paint it? And it's like sitting in the grass. Like this. And it's like, say there's probably like a shed behind it, but I'm gonna see if I can think of other tools I want to put here first. Like a little spade? Is that what this is? Like maybe it's a, no, I think a trowel is the thing with the claws, right? Like this is a trowel. I think. I thought a trowel was like one of these pointed little shovels before, but I don't think so. I think it's one of these claw ones, which I was always fascinated by as a kid. Alright. There's some gardening tools, and this is going to be, like I said, a shed. Put some boards there. And so today, those Archer and Olive dated planners came out. They went up for sale, and I totally ordered one. I'm ready, committed. And I got the tabs. The tabs weren't as much as I thought. They were only $15, which is still a lot, but I don't know. I don't think I was really going to save much by getting different tabs like somewhere else. Plus these ones match, so, you know, I went for it. Alright, that's just some shading. That's not going to be rust, but this is rust. And this guy is probably full of water. But I'm just going to let it be dark, because I think it would be very shadowed in there. Or like, he's got kind of a jaunty look to him here. Like this part, I think, is just kind of like bent out of shape a little bit. I want to draw, there's something here. Maybe like some plants hanging down, but I don't know what that's gonna, I don't know if I can convey that properly. So maybe it's just gonna be like stuff that's like grown on the wall. It's still a wall. It's outside. On the shed, but maybe it's just part of the wood. I'm kind of liking this as like a wood texture. So, one of my favorite podcasts is The Neighborhood Listen. I don't know if you know that one. It's Paul F. Tompkins and Nicole Parker do like this improvised. I love improvised podcasts, or podcasts of people who are just like friends, like talking. Like Freedom is like my absolute favorite, which also has Paul F. Tompkins in it. But anyway, The Neighborhood Listen is so funny. And I hadn't realized that it had come back, that the season had started. Because the podcast app that I'm using now doesn't tell me when there's new episodes of things, which is really annoying. It's like the only feature it doesn't have that I want. It's like, I think it's Pocket Casts. I don't know. I used to use Stitcher, and then they like stopped existing. So anyway, it's so funny, and I hadn't realized that the season had started up, so I ended up binge listening to like all of what's there so far. There was only like, let's say 4 or 5 episodes. One of them was so funny. I was like laughing so hard that I was just like crying. Like, it's such a good podcast. Anyway, in it, they improvise, it's like, they use this app. I can't remember what it's called. There's a real one, but they use a pretend one. And, like, look at posts that people have made about, like, their neighborhood, and then they'll bring in other comedians to, like, improvise, like, an interview about it. I'm not explaining it very well. It's really funny in real life. Okay. Let's see. All right. Now, I'm using this little brush today because I've got some details to paint here. I might also use that other one. We'll see. And I'm going to, I'm going to get out the wells because I think I'm going to need them, and I'm going to stick them up here. I don't have a lot of space here. All right. This is really, I guess it's not quite silver. I do have sort of silvery ones in my other palette. Here, wait, where's that? Oh, here, right there. I already got it out. I usually get these both out together, even though they're, like, different. I'm gonna spray these down. Whoa! Oh, okay. Spray these down in case I need them. I gotta refill my sprayer. I've been using it to also mist my bonsai tree. Because apparently you're supposed to water them and mist them, I think. I don't know. It's a seedling. If you're new here, I've been talking about this bonsai tree. It's a seedling that sprouted earlier this month that I am taking care of. And, I sprouted it, I guess. But, like, it's the only one that sprouted so far. And I know the thing said to be patient because it might take a long time. But when you have one that's sprouted and is, like, doing so well, it's hard not to think that the other ones just aren't going to sprout. Which may very well be. But I have at least one, and it's pretty healthy, I think. It seems healthy to me. And I'm mixing these two together. We're going to see what happens. I think it's going to be good. Oh, it's beautiful. But anyway, yeah, so that bonsai tree is doing good. But sometimes it gets a little bit droopy. And so, I don't know, I've been watering it. I try not to overwater it. Try not to, like, freak out and overwater it. And I try not to let it get dry. These are all plant things, obviously. That's what you do with a plant. It does seem to help to mist it, like to spray it. It's still got a bit of its, like, seed stuck to it. And I'll admit I've made a couple of attempts to, like, maybe pull it off, but very soft attempts because I don't want to hurt it. And if it's not going to come off, it's not going to come off, It'll come off on its own. It seems pretty stuck on there, so I'm just going to leave it be. Hopefully, the bonsai tree can handle that itself. Feels like, I don't know, like a chicken hatching out of an egg or something. You can't help it. It's got to do it on its own. Yeah. So that's what's going on with those. Which, mostly the same as it has been. Trying to think. What else? What else have I been up to? I've been playing a lot of Clutter. I don't mind telling you, but I'm not necessarily proud of it. I don't know. I need to take a break from it. Let's see. And then, trying to think. I guess I've just been like, I don't know. Been watching a lot of YouTube, watching a lot of planner videos still. Though I guess that's over now. Well, not over, but, I've made my decision. I think it's a good one. I'm really excited about that. This looks great. I don't know if you can see that on camera. I'm going to, I'll bring this up a bit. See if I can make it sparkly. I don't know if you can tell. From where I'm looking, it doesn't look like you can see it, but mixing the silver sparkles with the, silver mica paint. Looks really good. Now, I'm going to just use the silver on this part. And, I should delete that a bit more. But I don't know, just kind of try and make it a little bit different than the sparkly part. Actually, I think that works fine. That works okay. Yesterday, the C drive of my computer, it's been getting too full. It's not a very big C drive. There's part of why I need to reformat and get everything resituated, change the size of that drive. But it's it was so low on space that I had 23 megs free. Couldn't even save a game I was playing. I was playing Against the Storm. Which is another game that I love. See, I've been playing something real. I've been playing Against the Storm, and I couldn't save because it just got so bad, and I was still having trouble, my computer couldn't display any, thumbnails of, pictures and stuff. It's pretty bad, but managed to free up some space, so it can get by for now. Draw this. Or try and get more color here. But yeah, also, I feel like playing too much of certain types of games really hurts my eyes, which isn't good, obviously. And I need to switch paints. I don't know if I want to put these away, but I don't have space for them here, so I am going to at least sort of put them away. And I don't need this here right now because I'm done drawing. Alright, I'm putting those there, and I'm just going to grab this. I don't think I have a lot of room for my other palette. Anyway, certain types of games will hurt my eyes. Just I think ones where you have to really focus on looking at certain things. And then it makes it hard to think. And thinking is kind of important. So, I don't know, I need to take a break from that. But it's hard because I really like it. And it's mostly fun. I don't know, it does get frustrating being so, playing this one thing. Oh no, I got orange on this guy. Well, wait, I'm supposed to, because he's rusty. So, it's actually okay. I'm gonna add some more to that. I almost forgot he was rusty. That's actually working pretty good. I'll add some red too, but I'm going to let that dry. And I'm going to try and finish up this little shovel. Spade? I think it's a spade. Like I said, I think this is a trowel. Trowel looks like a claw. I had thought this was, but it's not. I don't think. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know much about gardening tools, apparently. Yeah. This isn't really the color red this would probably be, I feel like, but I think it looks nice. And I'm gonna mix some orange. This is a good rusty orange, I feel like. But I'm gonna mix some of that up with some red to make a darker rust. Try and add to here. Oh yeah, that looks good. That looks real rusty. Just kind of, spread that around. We had, when I was growing up, we had this cat named Sassy who was mostly white. She had a black spot on her ear and maybe her face. I can't remember. She wasn't pure white, but she was a short-haired cat, mostly white, and she would roll in the wheelbarrow that was rusty. She would come inside and just be orange. And we're oh my god, what happened? And it wasn't hard to figure out what happened. But, I mean, she was okay. But she was orange for a while. And we had another cat, Griffin, who was actually an orange cat. And he used to go out and bring dirt clods into the house. And what I mean by a dirt clod is I don't know, a little square of like a chunk of dirt with grass on it. And he would bring one home, like carry it in through the cat door, bring it in, like every day for years. And I was like, where was he getting those? Like, was somebody just like, who's taking all of my dirt clods? Or, and why? Why was he taking those? You know, because like, I don't feel like cats don't usually carry things that much, you know? Like, and you know, sometimes they'll carry like their prey. But I don't know. I don't know what he got out of that. He didn't like use them for anything. He just brought them in. So, I don't know. It's a mystery to this day. So, I mean, I don't expect anybody to be able to solve it, but like, I don't know. Have you had a cat bring in dirt clods? It's weird. But if you have, let me know. And let me know what your theory is. Actually, I guess you can have a theory either way, but I don't know. I don't know what it was. He also, one time he stole, we had like some leftover cranberry bread that we'd made, and we'd put it in like some foil, and he stole it off the counter and opened it up and ate it. Which is also a weird thing for a cat to do. We've had a lot of weird cats, but you know, I think cats just kind of are weird. Like, they're my favorite, but they're all really quirky, which I think that's definitely a plus. I don't think that's like a bad thing, but you know, it's hard to know like what is normal or not, because they all do such weird different things. Which, I mean, I guess you could say that about people too, but you know, but a person, you can say, hey, why are you bringing in these dirt clods? What's this about? And you can't really ask a cat that. I have no idea where he was getting them from, or why there were such like a huge supply for so long. Now, I want to switch brushes, but I also don't want to switch brushes. Oh, I gotta get my swatch. If you missed it, I made this swatch. I've been talking about needing to make a swatch for a while, and I finally did it. So let's see. Grass color. Now this Denise's green is a good grass color for sure. I might use this though. Appetite green, I think it's called. It's not spelled appetite like your food. It's like a stone or something. I'm not sure though. I'm not sure which one of these I want. I have some green mixed up here already, and I'm going to add to that. Let's see. I'm trying to think. What else did our cats do that was weird when I was growing up? The dirt clods thing was probably the weirdest thing. Because every once in a while I still think about it, and I'm like, what was up with that? Don't know. Alright, and see now, this brush, I do really like this brush, but I do feel like, you know, it is kind of watery. Whereas like the smaller one, which I didn't clean, gotta clean that. The smaller one is, it, you know, doesn't hold as much water, so it's not like, I don't know, I feel like it doesn't, I don't know, I guess get washed out as much. I don't know how to say it, like how the color goes. It's like, I don't know, I feel like when you have a lot of water in it, whether you mean to or not, I guess, it's easy to have it like kind of, I don't know, flowing too much, or just like, you know, getting all over. And part of that might be this paper. Might not be the best paper for that. See how like here, then I'm moving it around, but it's like got more water on it now. So like, you know, it's just harder to have water control, I guess, with a brush that holds more water. But I'm getting the hang of it. And this is the Appetite Green, and it is working for grass. So I might use that more for grass. I might add a little bit of like Denise's green to this, just so that it's not just the one color. And we can like add some to this blades of grass that are like in front of the watering can. And I'm doing this part first, putting a little bit of grass here, like in front of the shed, because then that'll soak in. And then when I paint this part, even if I paint over that, you'll still be able to see the grass, kind of. Hopefully that'll make more sense when I actually do it. Because I'm not really sure how I want that to go, but I do think I don't want it to be like a stark edge. I want there to be some grass there. There. Okay. That's looking pretty good. So rust is turning out to not be such a bad word. Well, rust isn't a bad word, but you know, it's not turning out to be so bad. But it's still a weird one, like for the theme. And I don't know if there's an official theme. I don't know if they admit that there's a theme, but you know, like there's definitely a theme. It's definitely all like travel related. Now I'm opening up my other palette here because I want brown. I want a good brown color for the shed. And I'm just gonna mix some browns up. I don't know. I find myself mixing things up a lot. Or mixing up colors. Like I have browns. You know, I could just use like a straight up color, but I find myself just kind of mixing up random colors together. And it's easier to do definitely if you have like, you know, like these wells make it easier. Now the tin does have like some mixing spaces, so you know, I could do it there. But I don't know, I've just kind of gotten in the habit of like mixing up colors together. I guess maybe because there's always colors on my wells that are like already there, and I'm like, well, whatever, I'll just mix with that. And because I like when the colors are different. So like theoretically, you know, you should make a wash that's going to cover like the whole thing. But also I just really like I don't know, like mixing it up a little bit, shaking it up, whatever. Hopefully you know what I mean. Like this board, slightly different color than that board. And I think that's fun. And I don't know, gives it a little bit more interest than just if it was like, you know, the same color. There's a hair in there, but that's a brush hair. So I'm not worried about that. I mean, I guess I should be, because I'm like, I don't want my brushes to fall apart, but it's not my hair. I'm not the one who lost a hair in there. So I don't have to feel embarrassed about it. I don't know why losing a hair is embarrassing, because your hair just falls out all the time anyway. But I don't know, it's like, I guess like serving food with the hair in it, and you're like, oh no. But having a hair in your watercolor is not really the same thing as having it in your food. But I guess it's still gross, I guess. Yeah, see how much water this one holds? This holds a lot. And it does make it a bit difficult. And sometimes more difficult to get like a strong color, just because it's like, you know, putting more water into it. Because like if I switch brushes, clean that one, always clean your brushes. If I switch to this one, and actually I'm gonna add a little bit different color because I'm just moving on to the next one of these. If I do this one, it's gonna take me longer, but I do feel like it's maybe it's just because it takes longer. It soaks in more before you really get there. I don't know. But like, this is different, you know? Like, it's not just getting water all over. And one of them is not necessarily better than the other. It's just a matter of like what you want to have happen. And this part, this needs a little bit more something. Oh, see, I shouldn't have gone over that. Well, that's all right. That's okay. Yeah, so then this, you can see already, like, the difference here. Like, the way that they're soaking into the paper. It just looks different. And, I don't know. I guess I'll try going over this part again, but with this brush. We'll just see. See if we like it better that way. Trying to think what other things I've been doing. But I don't know. When my eyes hurt from playing games, I just can't think of anything. Which is another reason why I probably need to stop. I'm like, I should uninstall that game. I'm like, no, don't uninstall it. I'll be good. Which also probably means I need to uninstall it. But we'll see. We'll see if I can just stay away from it. Yeah, see, and that's adding more color, which I like. That's what I wanted it to do. I'm going to add this darker brown back here. Because I kind of want this guy to stand out more. There's not enough contrast in this painting so far. I would like for this part to be a bit darker, and I don't know, I'll straighten that out a bit more when I add more shadows and stuff, you know. But I do want this to be like a bit of a different color. And it's also tough because this is brown and he's rusty, and brown and orange are very similar. So, and especially I keep adding like reddish browns to this. Because of that, I'm going to paint this one over here so it's not competing so much with the rust. But yeah, you can really get a lot more like saturation here with this brush than with the other one, because the other one holds a lot more water. I don't know. I mean, theoretically, the pigment to water ratio shouldn't really change, you know? But like, again, maybe it's just the speed that it's putting down the stuff, because this other one, the dagger brush can really can paint a lot faster, and then you're just spreading the water and the pigment that much faster. Whereas this one's kind of got to work at it, and that might make the difference. So the thing I was looking at bookbinding stuff. I was looking at bookbinding glue. I've not done bookbinding, but I want to. I want to do everything. And I saw a review where somebody was talking about using some bookbinding glue to make their own blocks, their own watercolor blocks, and I thought, oh, that's cool. Like, if you don't know, a watercolor block is like, I have one. I have this bow hung one. So like, it's like this, and they're all like glued together. And then you like, it came with like a thing, like a letter opener type thing to like slit around the edge and then take this off. And when I first started watercolor, I was so confused about this. Like, what is a block? And why would you want it? But it's basically like the equivalent of taping down the edges, except you don't have to tape down the edges. And so it like is glued in place and stays in place when you paint. And then when you're done, I guess you wait for it to dry probably. And then once it's dry, it's still flat and you can paint to the edges and stuff. So that's what a watercolor block is. And the idea of making your own is kind of interesting. I don't know if I would actually do that, but we'll see. See how comfortable I get with bookbinding, if I ever get there. I think I will. I've been slowly building up the supplies. And let's see. Let's just see. Let me actually look at my swatch. I think I could mix up some of this lighter brown, well, it's like an ochre color, into there. And I'm going to take some of this darker color and we're going to see what this looks like. Oh yeah, that's nice. I like that. It's a nice tree colored brown. Now, I'm not sure I'm not sure which plank that is. Plank! That's the word I was trying to think of the other day when I was saying slats. Planks. These are planks. Have you ever had that where you're trying to think of a word and you just can't think of it even though it's a normal word? And then like days later it comes to you? I remember one time I was like really stuck on like, I was like, what is the baby lamb called? And I just could not figure it out. And it took me way too long to be like, well, there's no such thing as a baby lamb. Like, I was trying to think, I guess I was trying to think what a baby sheep is, but I mixed it up because I already had the word in there. And so I was like, I don't know, just on the wrong track completely. And I was like, oh, the answer is in the question because the question is not quite right. I like this color too, this one that I've made up. I think that looks really good. Now, I do feel like there's too much brown, and then with this like orange here, you know, it's not standing out as much as I had hoped. I'm gonna try and fix it. I'm not sure if it's gonna like, I'm not sure if I can fix it, or at least not satisfactorily, but we'll see. Okay, let's go for a darker green. And I'm going to add some stormy blue to that, I think. Stormy blue? It is stormy blue. A stormy blue and Parylene green. And, alright. Some of this is tricky because these are in the front of it, and I don't want to, like, make it look like they're not. And I did already draw some shadows here. Just gonna have a shadow. And this one. Painting shadows is my favorite part. I don't know why, but I guess I just like how, I guess it's kind of a form of arranging things, or what did I say before? Not rearranging, but, can't remember the words I used. Something that I like to do is organize things, I guess. It's kind of a form of organizing things, in a way, sorting things out, and then it also adds, like, it really makes the picture, you know, because it makes, like, the contrast, and things just kind of, like, come into place, you know. So I think that's part of what I like about it. If I stop and analyze it. I don't know that we need to analyze why we like things sometimes. But, because sometimes, I don't know, sometimes it takes the fun out of it. And also sometimes we're wrong about why. And I'm not saying that because you'd be wrong, you should never think about it. But I'm just saying, like sometimes thinking about it, it could, like analyzing it too much could make it less fun, and you might be wrong about why. So, I don't know, like, is there a point to it? I don't know. I don't feel like I'm being super clear about that, but, like, I feel like, I don't know, it's just not always worth analyzing, but, you know, sometimes we could also do with more analyzing of why we like things and why we don't like things, because sometimes we end up doing things we don't like, and it's like, but why are you even doing it, you know? Like, you don't have to do a thing, like, well, I mean, you have to do some things you don't like, I guess, but in general, I feel like it's really easy to get in a place where you feel like you just have to do things that you maybe don't care about, or that are stressful, and maybe someone else has told you have to, or maybe it's just societal pressure, or it's just yourself, like you just kind of, I don't know, got into some mindset where you think this is what I do, or this is how things are, or, you know, and sometimes it's really helpful to reevaluate those things and be like, wait, is that actually true? Like, I don't know. I used to really like try and finish books I was reading, just as an example, I guess. And eventually I got to a point where it's just like, if I don't like it though, do I really need to keep reading? And the answer to that is no. No, you don't. Now, there have been books that I didn't get into right away that I didn't get into for like 50 pages. And it's like, well, if I'd stopped before that, I would have missed out. But a lot of books, you can really tell right away if you're going to like it or not. And then also, as an author, I'll see reviews of people just being like, I hated this book, like of my books. And most of the reviews are good. But, you know, sometimes there's reviews where people are like, I hated this. And they clearly forced themselves to read it. Or like somebody had bought first 2 Renegade X books for like, I don't know, they were on sale for like $1 each or something, $2 each. And they were like, I hate this, but I have to finish reading it because I paid for it. Or they had to finish because they finish everything that's on their Kindle, no matter what. And it's like, why are you doing that to yourself? You know, if you don't like it, just stop. And, you know, like, I'm much happier not feeling obligated to finish reading a book. And I'm not sure why I ever did feel obligated. Like, you know, where does that come from? I guess from school, probably. And, oh, my battery's getting super low. I gotta hurry and put these shadows on. But it just, you know what? It needs a few more shadows. Like, here. But I wanted to use this silvery paint because I didn't want to miss out. Oh, here, definitely. I didn't want to, like, just use, like, black on that, you know? And put some in here. This is kind of wonky. Like, the handle itself's not wonky, but the shading on it's wonky. But I don't care. And this needs another layer here. Watercoloring is all about layers. Which I found very intimidating at first. But you get used to it. And then when you have to do a different kind of painting where you have to layer it like a different way, now I feel intimidated by that instead. So, you know. Now the rust only starts here. This part's not rusty for some reason. Maybe this is made of a different material. And, you know. Now I didn't put any plants coming down. That might help if I did. I think. Well, this video is already really long. I don't know why this took me so long. If I put a bit of green here. I guess it took me so long because I was using this brush. Normally I don't use this brush. I'm liking this though. This is looking kind of aged, you know? Like adding this green to it looks a bit mossy. And I feel like kind of, you know, lessens the like just brownness of it. Alright, I'm going to call that good. Because everything's going to run out of battery. And this video is plenty long. Okay, there we go. That is rust. And that is a beautiful rusty watering can. Sitting in his natural habitat, abandoned in front of a shed. With some tool friends. He looks okay though. He looks, I don't know, like, he's fine with this. This is his world. And he doesn't need to not be a rusty watering can, you know? It's like, he's been through some stuff. He's done some hard work in his day, and now he's content to, like, watch everybody from here. And he probably still gets used sometimes, but, you know, he's put in his work. He feels good about that. And, he's still going strong. Look at him. Okay. That's it for today. If you enjoyed this video, hit like. It really helps out the channel. And if you want to see more videos like this, then hit subscribe. And I will see you next time on the Cluttered Corner.